Hello, live by design, not by default. Welcome to Inspirational Moments with me, Billy. This is another part of this series within this series that we are creating, called Winning in the New Norm. And today is part 3. So our focus today is about developing the people within. When I say developing the people rather than saying developing the person within, what I meant is I think we in one person is made up of many different character, many different personalities, and so we are really very unique in our own ways. And there's no one else that's like us. All right, we are in our own ways a makeup of our own character, our experiences, our past, and everything about us that we have gone through in our life that make us us. Hello to Catherine. Hello from Genting. Let me see. Sawadee Krap, Dr. Wasit. Hello, Connie Coleman. Hello, Magalapa. Hello, Kinyo. Nice of you all to join me so early and already so many hearts flying around. So for that, I think you all deserve a round of applause. Okay, always exploring new things, trying out new things. In our last two episodes, I spoke about the TFA technique, the technique where you can use to develop a more intelligent response from a moment to a moment basis. All right. At the same time, the same technique can also be used as a coaching tool. Now that we have a lot more me time, being at home with our MCO, with the circuit breaker, and still with some countries under lockdown. I think we are hearing good news that a lot of countries, a lot of places are taking good control of the of the spread. And so parts of the economy and all that are opening up. I certainly hope that all our clients will very quickly be back to business as usual. In fact, I wish them a business better than usual. All right, so besides the TFA technique, in our last session, I also spoke about the 6 M's, managing our mindset, being mindful, and also continuing on with the things that we have been doing with the right movements, except that we are doing things differently. Also, to engage in meaningful engagements, take time for ourselves to meditate, to master things that we have always wanted to, but have always been having a very good reason, or a reason that sounds good, and that is busy and no time. All right, so today is about developing the people within you. And since the last 2 episodes, I hope that you have already taken action on the things that I've recommended and suggested, because my topic today is developing the people within. And starting with this question, who are you? I have to say it, I was quite inspired by this. This is my hero with his movie Who Am I from some years ago. All right, but my question tonight is, who are you? Now, when I ask you this question, I think I may get answers like you will tell me your name, you will share with me your profession, you tell me what you do. Maybe some of you have a symbol that represents you. I've got people who I've ever heard people who come to me and told me that they are the sun because they want to bring brightness. I've got people who say they are the lion because they have pride and they will fiercely fight and defend their territories. I've got people who liken themselves to being an umbrella, to being a big tree, who bring shade to people. But whatever it is, you are definitely more than just your name, more than your profession, more than what you do, more than your symbol. In fact, I think you are much more. All right, and I think when it comes to asking ourselves this question, really thinking about it, who am I? it's kind of difficult to describe who we are other than the labels that I mentioned earlier on. But perhaps looking at other people and some of the heroes that we have in our life, some of the special people, the admired people, we can learn some lessons from them. All right. Another way, of course, for us, I think we all deal with people all the time. You can tell that the people with whom you make associations can affect your elevations. All right. So if I were to take some time and make some observations, and I look at your best friends who also consider you their best friends, I think I can pretty much guess and will be pretty correct as to who you are just by looking at the people you hang around with. All right. So remember, we do not choose our friends consciously, but rather we choose our friends unconsciously. But we still choose our friends. We attract the people in our life by being attractive to these people. So for that reason, I think quite logically, you can tell that positive people would project positive energy. They think positive, they talk and they behave and they act positively. And so they will attract people who are like-minded, people who are positive. And when a group of positive people come together, they will think, talk, and act positive and project a lot of positiveness and then enjoy a lot of nice, positive payback from the universe and the rewards from the universe. All right. And of course, if you're negative or you're one of those people who are negative, then you are also attractive. You will attract, obviously, people who are negative. And let me attempt to give you a good reason why you want to manage your own mindset and be more mindful about your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, and your actions, because it affects your results. Right? So don't give the negative people any form of satisfaction in finding comfort in you when you are being negative. Right? The people who are negative will still come to you simply because they are happy to know that your problems are worse than their problems. Right? So don't give them that satisfaction. Okay, with that, I want to ask you, because describing ourselves can be very difficult, yeah? Describing others are probably easier. All right. So if I were to ask you, who are your heroes? Who are your role models? Who are the people you admire? What comes to mind? What comes to mind? And when you think about what comes to mind, when with regard to all these role models and heroes, there must be something about them that you admire, that you aspire to be, and so the first question this evening, besides who am I, my next question for you is, then who is it that you truly want to be? All right. We are nearing the end of a lot of movement control measures and all. And so very soon, I think a lot of us will be back in the workplace and all of that. And then we'll be all busy and all over again, right? So let's take this time to give it some good thought. All right. Who is it that you want to be? Wow, I got a very nice compliment. All right. I think one of life's greatest moments is when your name appears in someone else's testimonial. So thank you for wanting to be me. But don't be everything me. You know, there's some parts about me that I think you can do a lot better, such as taking care of myself and my health and so forth. All right. So for a long time, I've always been that workaholic, you know, always been that busy person who kind of live off the suitcase, traveling from countries to countries, doing training, giving talks, and delivering keynotes and all. But for you, really, who is it that you want to be? When we come out of this COVID situation, when we go back to the new normal, and I say going back because really the new normal is nothing new. Things has been changing all the time, whether you are or you're not conscious about it. All right, but so now is a good time to think about who is that you, that version 2.0, that version 3.0. You know how are you going to upgrade your own OS so that we come out all ready for the new norm and winning in the new norm. All right. So as I mentioned earlier on, I think when it comes to discovering more about ourselves and all that, it helps to look at some of the heroes and the people we admire and some of the role models. So if I were to faces up, these people. What comes to mind for you, right? Helen Keller, when you think about her and what she has accomplished, being the first deaf and blind girl to have a first degree of Bachelor of Arts, and went on to give herself and contribute so much to the people around her. Or perhaps fearsome heroes like Napoleon Bonaparte, or people who live with a mission to free people like Gandhi. People who fight to protect their people and their country, like Churchill. Or maybe sports personalities. Michael Jordan has been an idol for a lot of people. Oprah Winfrey is another good example. Of course, many of us also admire the intellect and the intellectual capability of Einstein and the big heart of Mother Teresa. So when I say, when we look outside ourselves and look at all these heroes and all these people, these special people that we admire, what is it about them that you think you would like to emulate, that you like to learn from, that you also like to acquire, all right, in order that you can achieve your goal of being the person whom you truly want to become? All right. Now, in NLP, we speak quite a fair bit about NLP. Now, in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, we have a technique called modeling excellence. Modeling excellence is effectively finding a role model, someone who is excellent at doing something that you aspire to master, you aspire to have, you aspire to get, you aspire to be, right? So in NLP, when it comes to modeling excellence, we look beyond just what a person does externally. So it's not just the actions, it's not just the behaviors. We also look into the strategies, we look into the mindset, we look into their neurological system. We study how they produce the behaviors outside and what happens on the inside that make them manifest these behaviors outside, right? So when I look at some of these special people who in one way or another are superb in what they are doing, who are winners in what they do, who are champions of life, I come up with a few traits that I put together for this evening for your reference. Okay, so in modeling excellence, I've discovered that all of these people who are special, they have gifts and they have talents. And also kind of because I write over and above speaking and all, particularly I love to write quotations, and I've got a quotation that I've written some years ago, and my quote says, don't just count your gifts and your talents, but make your gifts and your talents count. All right, so I think these people, they recognize the gifts and the talents within them. They recognize that they are unique. They recognize that they have something to contribute. And what's important is that they also took action. They utilize their uniqueness. Hello, Asna. So they utilize their uniqueness and they recognize their own gifts and talents. Because I'm pretty sure with most people or at least the most people that I've come across, maybe I'm lucky as in I surround myself with all the good and positive people. I've never come across anyone whom if I go to them and I say, hi, who are you? They will tell me that I am nobody. Right? I don't think any one of us aspire to be nobody. All right. So perhaps being more self-aware of your own gifts and your own talents, all right, and then making use of this uniqueness, this you that you can bring out, that you can make a contribution to. I've also discovered that these special people, they take learning very seriously. Now, when it comes to learning, obviously, I think you can see from some of them, the era that they are from, that they probably don't have training classes like what we have today. Online courses, abundant today. Don't know what to prioritize. Sometimes you can get so lost with so many courses and so many programs that are on offer out there. But that they take learning seriously by learning from their own experiences, by learning from their own encounters, by learning from their own, by them, by learning from themselves. Even if they fail at doing something, even if they do not succeed, they think that failure is essentially just feedback. And what they will do is they will utilize all these experiences, and they will make every moment count by taking learning seriously, by making sure that they learn something out of it. I think it was in the last episode, in the last session, where I had EC from Dubai, who joined us, when we talk about mastery, when we talk about learning. He reminded me of a quote that I've written some years ago. I believe that learning should never cease so that living never stop, or learning should never stop so that living never cease. Yeah. Oh yes, in fact, Dr. Mitish just said there's so many courses nowadays. It's too many and can be confusing. And yes, thank you for the compliment. Model me. Okay, so I hope you only model certain aspects of me. Let me know what is it that you admire and you model. And I'll be happy to share more with you. Okay, but let's model all these real excellent people instead. Okay, they really utilize their gifts and talents, their own uniqueness. They take learning seriously. They have passion in what they do, whether it is to defend the country, whether it is to nurse sick people to health, whether it is to give love and to give their life. They play at 100%. Think about it. Without passion, life is just motion. All right. We exist because we have to make a contribution. We don't exist to create pollutions. So make every moment count. Be passionate about what you do. Always play at 100%. Always do it to the best of your abilities, despite all the constraints and all that you have. Think about it. All these special people, all the winners, all the champions of life, all the champions in this world, they don't have the best of everything, but they make the best of everything. And in turn, they bring out the best in themselves. Another thing I noticed when it comes to modeling excellence, as I try to study, as I try to get into the mindset, the attitude of these very special people, is that they all act and they all behave and they all do things with a sense of urgency. I mean, think about it. I don't know how true this is for you, okay, but it certainly is true for me. There are so many times when I walk into a bookshop, because that's one of my favorite shopping places. When I walk into the bookshop and I have these nice books that laid out right in front of me, the top bestseller, the bestseller of the week, the number one bestseller book, and they were displayed so nicely to catch all the attention and to encourage people to get the book and to read these books. So often, when I walked in and I looked at the book title, the first thing that came to my mind was, wow, I thought about writing something like this. Now, and then I think about it. What's the difference that differentiates between me, who thought about writing a book like that, as compared to the author who put that book on the shelf? I think the difference lies with action. All right. Procrastination, hesitation will always lead to no action. All right. So I discovered that in modeling the excellence of these excellent role models, they all act with a sense of urgency. Can I also at this moment try to enroll you? Can I find out how many of us here is guilty of procrastinating? All right, give me a thumbs up or something, a comment. What is it that you've been procrastinating? What's been stopping you from doing the things that you've always wanted to do? I mean, it used to be that you're busy, you are, career comes first and all that. But now that we have a lot of me time, instead of continuing with all these reasons that sound good, or maybe it's good sound reasons, whatever it is, when you get reasons, you don't get results, right? So what is it that you've always been wanting to do? To model the passion to bring the best from another person. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Kit, NLP Master Trainer, I'm grateful that I have had the opportunity to learn from you and to model your excellence that's allowed me to do what I do now. I am grateful to have the opportunity to have something to share. I think if we have nothing positive to share, we must be very scared. All right. So So let's see what okay, some hands are coming out. Me procrastinating exercise, huh? And at times. Okay, excellent people act with a sense of urgency. All right. I think it was John C. Maxwell that said we have a tendency to overestimate tomorrow, which is why we always say, tomorrow I will do it, tomorrow I'll do it. And we underestimate today. All right, so stop. Let's stop let's stop doing that anymore. Stop with all the reasons and all the excuses, and like these excellent role models, act with a sense of urgency. Do it now. If the version 2.0 is going to come out, the development work must happen now. I mean, think about it. You today compared to the you 3 years ago, the you 5 years ago, has there been tremendous difference? Has there been a lot of development? Has there been a lot of versions, better versions of yourself emerging from year to year, from time to time? Or when we look back, we can only think, okay, in 3 years' time, I'm going to be very different. And guess what? It starts now. So act with a sense of urgency. Yeah. And I also, again, thank you all for all the compliment. Really, thank you very much. I am just me, trying to be somebody to somebody, and also modeling the excellence of all these superb role models that leave their name in mankind history. I've also discovered that they seem to all have a sense of mission. As if like they live every day for a reason. They wake up for a reason, and that reason is single-minded. It's a stubborn pursuit of excellence. It's a stubborn pursuit of wanting something, that makes a contribution. It's a mission that they live with. All right, like years ago when we first when I first started branching out on my own, being a trainer, out from that so-called rat race, out from the corporate jungle. Well, because I discovered I'm not good at playing politics, so I might as well be my own politician. Uh, and when we came out, I very clearly remember from the moment we start having team members and trainers and program consultants who join us, that it was very important that we must share a mission, and every one of us operate with a sense of shared mission. So if you are a leader leading a team, I think it's very important that you create a mission, something that inspires you, something that you wake up to, something that motivates you, something that get you to do what you are doing, and to be the best version of yourself, to be better than yourself. I think excellence is not about, I think excellence is not about taking over. It is overtaking. And that means overtaking ourselves, right? Dr. Mitish, again, with a message here, I've learned so much. And you've completed your MBA in healthcare on time. Excellent. Become a better at communication and rapport, and plan to do your PhD. There you go. Then my question will be, when will you start, and when will you accomplish and complete your PhD? And I will really look forward to hear from you, okay, when you've done your PhD, because I want to be among one of the first people to send you my most sincere congratulations. All right, so having a sense of mission. Okay, and because of them just being them, the essence of them will just exude. Again, one of NLP's presuppositions said that whatever happens on the inside will always reflect on the outside. They walk into the room and instantaneously command a certain kind of attention. Not the glamorous attention that we're talking about, but that the person just glow with charisma. All right. So I think someone who plays 100%, someone who who act with passion, someone who is serious about learning, upgrading themselves, who recognize, who have the self-awareness and the respect for people's gifts and talents, for their own gifts and talents, who utilize their own uniqueness, is someone who just naturally exude charisma. And definitely another point that's very important is they seem to be people of character. So think about yourself, if you will, after today, and here, if you like, is your homework. All right, between now until I see you again next Tuesday. All right, take a piece of paper and perhaps start taking a character or a personality inventory. Start taking stocks of your own gifts, your own talents, your uniqueness. What is it? Someone I remembered in one of the earlier episodes asked me, how do you know what you're good at? And I remember asking in return this question. What is it that you do that even on your worst day, you do it better than other people on their best day? What is it you do that even on your worst day, you will still do it better than other people on their best day? Right? I think when you come up with answers to that, that's what you need to be acting on. All right. And when you start thinking deeper as to your little actions, your little behaviors, and your pursuit of your own excellence, how does that contribute to the world at large? That's where you're going to find your sense of mission. All right. Oh, good. You actually have an action plan already. Okay, I'm going to make this public so everybody knows. All right. Apply in October 2020. 1-2, got graduate on time, and that is before 3 years. Okay, that would be by September 2023. Okay, I'll make it a point to remember to take this down so that I'll hold you to task. One of the things I discovered about having the good, positive people around you is that they will find ways to motivate you. All right, whether they come and bug me about the goals I set or whatever it is, it's still a reminder. All right, and keep in mind when you set your goals, always write it down, and go to our YouTube channel and look at our first episode when I talk about hope, and I talk a little bit about goal setting. All right, so let me just go through them one more time. Now, of course, this list is not an exhaustive list. It's not a complete list. All right, it's just simple 9 items which I thought I can share in a short half an hour session with you. All right, recognizing your own gifts and talents, and don't just count on them, but make them count. All right, utilize what is unique about you. Take your learning seriously, take your life's experiences seriously, take your moment to moment seriously, and start learning and benefiting from it. All right, always ensure that you act with passion, that you live with passion. We are born out of a moment of passion. How can we not live life with passion? And definitely play at 100%. There is no successful person I know. There is no winners I know that go into any game, that goes into any competition, that goes into any situation planning to fail. So nobody planned to fail, but people fail to plan, and people fail to act and to play at 100%. So make it a point to act with a sense of urgency, and make it a point to fill yourself with a mission, and reminding yourself with a mission. All right, and build the character, and your charisma will naturally exude on its own. Okay, I've also got a little model. When you think about who do I want to be, who do you want to be? If you are someone who cares only for, who doesn't care about self, who doesn't care about others or the world at large, you don't do anything to help yourself, you don't do anything to help others, you will be what I think we call nobody, right? Because effectively, seriously, you're not even being someone to yourself, right? And then the next category will be people who are all full of me, myself, and my body. So people who are superior, huh? Okay, so that's when you care only about yourself. You only do things to help yourself, to benefit yourself. You care about me, myself, and my body. You are the kind that that's just my body kind, right? And then, of course, there are some people who are all filled with heart for others, who care very much for other people. The problem is when you care so much for others and so little for self, you become a busybody. So who are you and who do you want to be? I like to think that every one of us want to be somebody. All right, and that's when we really maximize ourselves. That's when we really master ourselves. That's when we build ourselves in terms of our personalities, the goodness, the characteristics, and also do something to benefit other people. We also do something to help other people. All right. So I know when I ask you, who are you? You may be in turn asking me, okay, then Billy, who are you? I am somebody, and I want to be somebody to somebody. All right. The company mission, my mission has always been to transform people and to inspire lives. All right. So if you like tonight's session, this evening's session, feel free to subscribe to our social media channel. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as our YouTube channel. Share our past videos and maybe invite friends and people to come join us so that collectively together we will see more people joining in the live sessions, more comments, and more things to share. All right. So 2 questions in summary this evening. Who are you? And who is it that you want to be? Who is the version 2.0, the version 3.0 of your of you, the better version of yourself? All right, so remember to like, to share, to participate, and let us know also what future topics you would like us to touch on. Your suggestions and recommendations, I'll be happy to research and be able to create a platform like this to share with everybody. So until I see you again next Tuesday, please take very good care of yourself and definitely extra precaution. Be extra careful. All right, but definitely please make use of this time so that you come out winning in the new norm. All right, thank you once again. Good night, everyone. Oh, got so much more message. Oh, all right, here's a reminder there. Who are you and who is it you want to be? Hello, Mary. Didn't see you earlier. Joseph, good to see you all again. Okay, good night, everyone. Time for dinner for me. Because we do the session at 8, so I always make it a point to eat only after the session. All right, thank you, everybody. Good night.